reached a moment where someone has truly listened to us. Maybe we were struggling with something difficult. Maybe we just needed someone to hear us out. Even if that person didn't fully understand how to fix the problem, they listened. And moments like that matter. Moments like these are only possible because of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It is essential for human connection and growth, and without it, relationships are weakened and communication breaks down. Today, many people claim that the younger generation lacks empathy, but research tells a different story. Professor Sarah Korngrath states that late millennials and emerging Gen Z actually show increase in empathy compared to earlier generations. This emerging challenge is to break down the stereotype that younger people are less compassionate, when in reality it's the opposite. Despite research disputing the stereotypes, Americans' youth has often been labeled as the non-empathetic generation. As someone that was born in 2006, I am a part of Gen Z. My generation grew up in a rapid time of changes like social media, technology, and of increasing in shifts of social norms and growing awareness for mental health. Because of these differences, younger and older generations often struggle to understand each other's and their walks of life. Many young people know that when trying to explain a situation to an older adult, most often than not, their experience are diminished or compared to somebody else's. Instead of listening and having a conversation, this usually turns into who had it harder or a competition of struggle. But empathy is not about comparing struggles. Empathy, like respect, is a two-way street. According to the National Institution of Health, communication struggles between youth and older adults that is often caused by a difference in values, communication styles, and patience. This misunderstanding between generations creates what we call today an empathy gap. My first solution would be developing a leadership conference for empathy targeted for high schoolers, specifically sophomores. I've chosen sophomores because freshmen aren't mature enough, juniors are focused in their studies getting ready for college, and seniors are mentally checked out. Sophomores would be the perfect option because they're in between coming into maturity and still have the attention to give to attend this conference. The way that this conference would work is that select schools would send an ambassador, a student that has exemplified that they have the qualities to be empathetic and can hone in on those skills. This selection process could be either through peer recommendation and or faculty recommendation. Once the decision has been made, it would be a week in the summer that students would be with like-minded individuals and hopefully take what they learned from this conference and bring it back to their schools and their communities. Another solution is organizing an empathy campaign on social media during Mental Health Awareness Month. While social media can sometimes be blamed for increased disconnect, it can also be used to spread awareness and compassion. Users could share supportive messages, personal experiences, and remind others to understand where people are coming from. This could be done through videos, hashtags, etc. Researcher Ruth Path shows that social media campaigns can help improve mental health, reduce stigma, and encourage positive behaviors. When we begin to use social media intentionally, social media can become a powerful tool for spreading empathy and reducing burnout overall. My final solution would be creating a nonprofit organization known as RUNE. RUNE standing for Rebuilding, Understanding, and Navigating Empathy. This program will go beyond simple conversations by actively teaching younger and older people how to communicate with each other with respect and empathy. Participants would consist of interested parents, teachers, and students that would first attend a guided workshop led by behavioral therapists that would be able to teach and have them learn practical skills such as active listening and recognizing emotional cues, and learning how to respond without judgment. Roon would also introduce an interactive learning technology where participants would engage in real-life VR simulations where they would practice different conversations with different people, such as discussing stress, expectations, personal struggles, and etc. These scenarios would help them understand not just what to say, but how to react and how to respond in sensitive moments like these. By combining education, real-world practices, and technology, it will help people actively develop those skills that are required for everyday life that we take for granted. To put everything in perspective, at the beginning, I talked about how powerful it is when someone truly listens to you, not responding, not comparing, but understanding. That is what empathy really is. The problem isn't that empathy is disappearing, it's more often than not people not stopping to listen or to understand each other. Differences between generations, differences in experiences, difference in perspectives. The gap will only continue to grow if we choose not to speak to each other, but instead speak over each other. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Empathy starts with something simple: listening with intention to understand, not judging, and body language. When we do that, whether it's through conversation, shared experiences, or programs designed to bring people together, we will begin to close that gap. So the next time someone opens up to you, take a moment, really listen, because sometimes being heard is what matters most.